Uber and Lyft are proposing a $21 per hour minimum wage guarantee, but why?
Xbox, Twitter, Uber,
Postmates,
Netflix, MoviePass,
Lyft, Google,
Facebook, eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and some of you may have been here.
When are y'all gonna get to the point? Dog, every time I look some on YouTube, the videos be like 20 minutes long, just to show me what I looked up in 10 seconds.
Oh. Yeah, yesterday's video was a little long. Okay, tell you what, let's have a word from our sponsors and we will get straight to the news story. Times are changing for gig workers and the gig economy, and there are a lot more gigs from a lot more companies than there used to be. That's why when people ask me where they can go to find resources for the gig economy, I recommend gigworker.com. At this site, you can see what other gig workers are doing and discover better opportunities from industries, companies, resources, and even a forum where you can talk with other people in the gig economy. Gigworker.com is a great resource site, whether you work for Uber, Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash, TaxRabbit, Thumbtack, Upwork, whatever. There's a gig for you and there's a forum for you on gigworker.com. Gigworker.com for all your gigs. AB5, it is a bill that we have been covering on this channel for quite some time. It is very controversial. A lot of drivers say they definitely want it. They want to be employees. There are a lot of drivers who say they do not want it to pass. They want to remain independent contractors. My stance has been and will always be, if Uber's going to treat me like an employee, I want to be classified as an employee. Otherwise, let me be independent. Set my own rates, set my own schedule. Don't penalize me for how many trips I do and do not pick up. Do not arbitrarily change the prices without my say-so. That is what being an independent contractor means to me. So I am, in a sense, in support of the bill because with this bill active, well, basically, Uber can still have us be independent. They just have to give us much, much, much more freedoms. They can't be doing what they're doing right now and still call us independent contractors. That would be abusing the system. So I think AB5 is ultimately going to be a good thing. However, there has been some concern about whether or not it would actually pass because fairly recently it was put into suspension. And bills that go into suspension either come back out for another vote or they don't come out of suspension and they die. Well, as you can see on Bill Track 50, it is actually coming out for a hearing on the 30th. That is tomorrow, August 30th. And there have been tons of people pushing for this to pass. I have been pushing the Mobile Workers Alliance. They have been doing a caravan across the state encouraging people to support this bill, bringing attention to it. By the way, I've been in contact with them. I want to apologize to them for not being with them at the state capitol. I think they were under the impression I could join them. I'm sorry. I really am. I wish I could. I could not, but I believe they're in Sacramento right now. They were also in San Francisco yesterday, where Pete Buttigieg, because I still don't think he's your friend, guys. I mean, you can't fundraise with Uber and Lyft and then say, oh, by the way, we're going to regulate them. I don't trust someone like that. But hey, Pete Buttigieg, and yeah, I know I'm deliberately getting his name wrong, joined them in the San Francisco protests. There he is right there. Keep in mind, he's still running for president and he's trying to get your votes, but he is fundraising with Uber and Lyft. Still, not the worst thing in, well, here's the thing. I always have I should just backtrack. One of the reasons I have issues with people who fundraise with companies and then publicly speak out against them is that at one point it starts to feel like a show. When you publicly say, hey, I'm with the drivers. I'm standing with them. Yeah, you're taking their money. You're taking their money. We know you're not going to do anything about it should you become president. That's why I'm not voting for you. That's why I'm not voting for you. But hey, he's joining. And the thing is, with AB5 finally being heard again and this caravan and presidential candidates at least publicly showing their support for such bills, even though privately I don't think they're going to support it, Uber and Lyft are panicking and they are proposing a $21 an hour minimum wage for drivers in California. Nowhere else, just California. The only place where they have the biggest fear of being regulated. And this is why I said regulation is probably not a bad thing. Uber and Lyft have always had the ability to regulate themselves, and yet they just simply never have. So now they're getting threatened. It's down to the wire. They know it's going to pass. More likely it's going to pass. We don't know for sure. And they are trying to propose an alternative before it passes. So, according to CNBC, Uber and Lyft have said they would support a $21 an hour minimum wage for drivers in California, a move that would be a significant change for two of the biggest gig economy companies. But labor activists say it isn't enough. Because, and here's the thing, I will give Uber and Lyft this much. Labor activists will probably never be okay with how much Uber and Lyft pay. I have had people come on my channel saying, you need to start at $50 an hour. Guys, taxi drivers don't make that much money. Let's be real here. But the ride-hailing leaders helped pioneer a new labor model in which people can choose to work on their own schedule, with the companies pairing active drivers with customers through smartphones and taking a cut of each ride. But with both companies in search of profit, drivers say Uber and Lyft have been taking a bigger portion of each ride's fee, leading to prospects from drivers and action from politicians. Yeah, you're darn right they have. You're darn right they have. Like, to the tune of more than 50% in some cases. The shift from Uber and Lyft comes from Uber and Lyft, as a landmark bill that would expand worker benefits in California is set for a critical vote Friday in a state Senate committee. If the bill is signed into law as written, all workers for gig economy firms, notably Lyft and Uber, would become employees and would be eligible for considerable benefits under state law, unless, of course, Uber and Lyft let them have the freedoms that independent contractors are supposed to have. Those benefits include workers' compensation, unemployment benefits, and other perks that are guaranteed to full-time employees, but not contractors. This means they are really nervous. Vina Dubal, I believe her name is, a labor law professor at the University of California, Hastings, said in an email. They could have offered something like this years ago and didn't. Bingo, exactly. The rideshare giants have urged supporters to fix Assembly Bill 5 or AB5, which would enshrine a 2018 California Supreme Court ruling that classified ride-hailing drivers as employees. The bill has already passed California State Assembly. For now, Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat and also someone who takes money from Uber and Lyft, I hear, has not said whether he would sign the bill if it reaches his desk. I'm going to do the Johnny Carson thing. It says money, so not a chance. Gig economy companies that were once seen as innovative addition to the labor market have come under growing scrutiny for how they treat their workers. Delivery startups Instacart and DoorDash were found to have been using tips to substitute for workers' wages, a practice that DoorDash eventually changed. Currently, startups have saved millions of dollars annually by classifying drivers as contractors rather than employees. In their mandatory Securities and Exchange Commission filings, both Uber and Lyft listed the prospect of being forced to consider drivers as employees as risks to their businesses. Quote, lawmakers need to fix that flexible work is important. Lawmakers need to hear that flexible work is important to you, which it is. The Wednesday email from Uber states. Oh yeah, by the way, they sent emails out. We're not going to look over them, but Lyft and Uber sent emails out to everyone, urging workers to sign a petition and to go to a website to show your support. There, 11 videos have been posted by people who say that they are Uber drivers, want to keep flexible hours, and generally oppose AB5. However, many Uber drivers on one online message board appear to support the bill. Similarly, Lyft's message says its revision would preserve earnings and flexibility. Lyft spokesman CJ Macklin said that the $21 an hour would be a floor and drivers could earn more than that. I somehow doubt that. It'd be nice if you could, but here's the thing. If Uber and Lyft propose you can make so much an hour, you can pretty much expect to earn less than that. I mean, keep in mind right now, because here's what's interesting about this particular article. They have been arguing. We just did a video yesterday about this where they were arguing. Hey, you can make $30 an hour driving for Lyft. Well, then why the heck are you advertising $21? You should be advertising more than what drivers are supposedly already earning. Are you serious, guys? Think, McFly, think. And here's a go. The labor activists, of course, say that that's too low. $21 isn't a living wage for any category of worker in the San Francisco metro area except a single adult or two adults living together, the group wrote. In all fairness, that's a lot of drivers. What they're offering is the floor while hoping to kneecap any efforts to raise wages down the line and create a real union. It's not enough. While $21 an hour is higher than the state's current $12 minimum wage, geez, boy, I hate San Francisco, I really do. Drivers must also bear the cost of gas, maintenance, and car insurance, which eats into their take-home pay. Standard federal mileage reimbursement rates are currently set at 58 cents per mile, which, by the way, Lyft is paying, I don't know in California, but 45 cents a mile. And in some cases, they're paying 35 cents a mile. When Lyft began in California in 2012, it initially offered $18 an hour as a way to attract drivers and establish a fleet of them. However, many drivers say that their bottom line has gone down in the intervening years. Steve Smith, a spokesman for the California Legal Federation, said in an email that this new move shows that Uber and Lyft are becoming increasingly desperate. Bingo! We think it's a losing strategy. If they were serious about making standards for drivers, why wouldn't they have done it before now? Good question. In fact, they've done the opposite by cutting rates. Drivers are rightly suspicious of any promises these companies make because they've been burned so many times before. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Cyrus, for doing this report. So, anyway, again, I think the Mobile Workers Alliance are at the state capitol right now. If not, you can check out their website, and I'm sure they've got that information. But yeah, you might, if this is important to you, if you want this bill to pass, you might want to join them. Again, I wish I could join them. I can't. It's not an excuse. I'm in LA, and they're in Sacramento. I'm sorry. I could not get away for a few days to do this. Otherwise, I would have loved to have done this caravan. I would have loved to have done it, but it just wasn't going to work out. But anyway, yeah, Uber and Lyft are getting desperate. And here's the thing when people get desperate. Like, I mean, you know, they want to offer $21 an hour. You know what? I'm going to come back. Hey, you advertise, we can make $30 an hour. Make the floor $35 an hour with the potential to make more with surges that we keep 80% of, and then we'll talk. That, I think, would be fair. But they're not going to do it. They will not do it. They will continue to push, and they will continue to steal, and they will continue to lie, in my opinion. They will continue to do what they can. Anyway, the hearing will be heard tomorrow. I might do a impromptu live stream tomorrow night to talk about it. Otherwise, tomorrow's story is going to be about what today's video I was going to do about, which is about the Anthony Lewandowski guy. So if you want to hear about that, be sure to check in tomorrow. Otherwise, what do you think about this? Do you think Uber and Lyft's offer is generous? Do you think it's fake? Are you insulted? Are you elevated, happy, ecstatic, whatever the term you want to use is? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices are getting just a little down, check out the GetUpside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back on every gas purchase. Cash back on every gas purchase. And if you want to see more content from me that's not rideshare related, check out my other YouTube channels, Kevin T. Rodriguez, the Apptrepreneur Vlogs, and Autograph Hound. And finally, if you want to talk to me or other fellow rideshare drivers, check us out at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.